Now, as I mentioned in an earlier video, getting website hosting is relatively inexpensive. Um, this is usually a monthly fee. Some website providers or website hosts will require that you pay an annual or at least 6 months in the case of InMotion hosting. This is one of my better hosts that I can recommend. They are really good, have good technical support, English speaking, and they available throughout the day, either through online chat or by phone. So I've had very little problems with them. The only downside is if you click the business hosting plans. And by the way, the link to this is in the description. I'll also add a number of other options as well. So if you don't mind paying 6 months hosting at a time, normally I'd go for the middle of the road package like this one here. And let's see. Okay, so this is the breakdown of the cost. Launch is going to be, you're only going to have two separate websites, up to 6 domains with email and 2 MySQL databases. Now this is kind of the deal breaker for me. I don't see much difference in price. There's $2 difference in price between these two plans, and 2 databases is going to restrict me to 2 websites. I usually have database heavy websites myself. The site we will be building is going to require a dedicated database. Okay, so having 2 is kind of limiting. Why not just get 50, which you're probably never going to use. And then you can also, it supports 6 additional websites that you can add and have hosted from the same hosting account. So there's no need to really buy a website host for every single website that you own or every domain that you own. You can have up to 6. I myself have the Pro plan, and this one is unlimited sites, unlimited domains with email, and unlimited databases. And I find this is quite useful for me. It's really worth the extra expense, and I just do a 12-month plan here. But if you're starting out and you just want to get your feet wet and kind of get, you can always upgrade at a later stage. So having said that, the cheapest plan here is really the launch plan, 12 months. The smartest plan to choose would be, if you're a beginner, would be the 12-month option here, or even the 24-month. This would be the one that I would recommend if you don't really want to fork out the extra expense of the Pro plan. The other option is to go on a month-to-month basis, which is 1 month under the Pro plan, but it's $18 a month. So, and additionally, you've got to pay a setup fee. So having said that, this would be my second option, and this is iPage. If you are somebody that cares about, green energy or clean energy, this company, I believe, runs the entire operation on wind energy. So if you're that way inclined, this would be a good option for you. In addition to that, they are cheaper. Now, the difference with iPage and some of the other hosting companies is that they use a different control panel. It's still relatively easy to use. The actual control panel is just software that's used to, it's a user interface that's used rather to facilitate, adding emails, uploading files to the site, and doing maintenance that you generally need to do. Okay, so having said that, this is the domain, or this is the website host that I'm going to link with my domain that we purchased earlier. If let's look at the options, I'm going to go through some of the features here. Just click the view full features option, and storage space is unlimited. Bandwidth is scalable. That means as you need it, expands, and just hover over the little question mark here to get more information. So this just kind of tells you what bandwidth really is. Then the other nice thing is that you get $100 of Google AdWords for free, and you get $100 credit at Bing ads as well. So that's actually really nice. You can, if you've got a brand new website, $100 in free advertising is, I'm not going to say no to that. Then if we scroll down, you get unlimited email addresses at your domain. So you can create multiple emails for anybody in your business or your company, or for various targeted email campaigns. You can have separate emails set up for them. They do have a hosting panel, control panel, that's slightly different to some of the other ones that I go over in some of my other videos. But if you worked in one, you can work in any one, pretty much. Okay, so let's go back, and I'm going to sign up. So right now they're running a special. Just be aware that this is the first year that you pay this, and then regularly the price is listed down here. This is the monthly price, so it jumps up quite substantially. InMotion, I believe this is probably the better long-term option, and it's going to be cheaper. So if you are willing to do this instead, then that's fine. I'm just choosing iPage to also demonstrate a different control panel. I believe they use VDEC as opposed to cPanel, which is what InMotion hosting uses, and a bunch of other hosts. All right, so enough jabbering. I'm going to go in and sign up. So you already purchased a domain name. Again, this is by default selected here because they actually want you to buy a domain through them. I would advise that you buy it separately. Okay, so I've already purchased a domain, and it's called makingyourfirstblog.com. See if I spelled that correctly. Yes, go continue. And let's just enter your first name, last name, all that good stuff. And then your payment information, you can pay by PayPal or just with a credit card, and then obviously input that information over here. The option that you will choose in this drop down here is the iPage Essential Hosting Plan. Now they have it by default. Just be careful here. By default they want you to sign up for 2 years. You don't have to. Click the drop down and go 1 year if you want. I usually do 1 year. I don't see the need to pay for hosting 3 years in advance. Cancellation policy, 30 days money back, and that's it. There's no activation fee or no setup fee, which I do like. Some hosts do let you pay activation fee, but I've noticed a trend that the vast majority of them these days ask if you pay for 1 year, then there's no setup fee. Okay, that kind of makes sense. All right, I'm going to go ahead and purchase this, and we'll be back when that's done. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention, as we scroll down the page here, just below the purchase information box, you'll see some essentials. Now, this is selected by default. I really don't like it when they do this. I would just uncheck whatever services you don't want. I don't need that, and I choose to not get this daily backup. Some people might like this. You should be doing backups of your site, and we will get to that and show you how to do it. This just seems like you'd be paying money for something that you can do yourself and automate, actually. Okay, so the total is going to be that right there. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to go to checkout. Now next they're going to ask you some kind of survey questions. You can fill this out if you want to. There's a no thanks button, and I just rather do that. And again, some smart upselling here. They obviously want to upsell some products, which is fine. I get that. Domain names, again, do not buy domain names from the web host. Okay. Again, I'll go down and say no thanks. Okay, so now this is the end result page. Success. You might wait a few seconds as this bar populates, but that's really all that you need to do. And you can go and log into your account. I would take a look at the email that they send you and save that in a safe place. All right, so these were the two emails that I just received from iPage. One is just a thank you for hosting your domain with them. And this is the name server information that you want to write down because we will need it in the next step. And the other email looks like just a receipt with a link to your control panel. Okay, so I will save this I'll just copy this link address. And you set the password, and then once it's been set, you can log into your account at this address right there.